Hello and welcome to the WriteCome.com podcast, where we help you to make money from your words. Each episode will be sharing tips, tricks, and strategies you can use to make more money from your writing, publishing, and marketing to your fans and audience. Let's get started with your host, Barry J. McDonald.
Hi, this is Barry here, and you are very welcome to today's podcast episode from WriteCome.com. And today's podcast episode is entitled, How Valuable Are Your Decisions? Now, I remember reading one of Anthony Robbins' books, or Tony Robbins' books, many years ago. It must be at least probably 15 years ago, or maybe more. And one thing that's kind of jumped at me at the time was something that he had mentioned about decisions, in that your life can be transformed by the decisions you'd make. And as he said in the book, maybe just to paraphrase him, I think he said that if you want a better life, make better decisions. Now, at the time, I probably, like a lot of people, I probably said, that's a really great quote. And it did kind of sit with me for a while, but never really actually absorbed it, or never really actually gave it much thought. And it's only been recently when I have been doing some of the things I have been doing. If you've been listening to the podcast at all recently, you probably have heard me say about the changes I've made in my exercise routine, and also in the kind of content that I am, spending more time with, in that I'm trying to keep away from all the kind of negativity in the news and social media and all those different things, and I'm trying to fill my head with some good stuff. But as I said, it's only recently that I have been paying much attention to the decisions I'm making, and it's only when I was thinking about it, I was just thinking, some decisions we make have very little value at all, and some decisions have a great value in them. If we probably looked at our business and imagined it like a bank, or maybe if we looked at our health as a bank, or maybe our relationships as a bank, and if we maybe just kind of gave a monetary value to each decision we made in relation to those, whatever decision you are making today, is it adding to the value of the bank of your business, or the bank of your health, or the bank of your relationships? Or are you finding that whatever decisions you are make are actually kind of withdrawn more from your balance, in that maybe by the end of the day, maybe your business bank has gone into the red, maybe you've withdrawn more out of it than you've added to it? Or again, to maybe your health, have you added kind of any investments today, in that you've maybe exercised, or maybe you have watched what you've ate, or have you simply just sat in front of the TV late at night, kind of pigged out watching box sets on Netflix or whatever, and kind of made a huge withdrawal from your bank balance? And as I said, a lot of us don't really maybe consider or kind of put a value on the decision we make. It's just simply kind of spur of the moment thing. It's yes, no, I'll get up, I won't get up out of bed, or I will watch TV, or I won't watch TV, or whatever. And we never really, it's kind of a yes or no, black or white. We go one way or the other way, and we never actually stop for a second and just kind of consider the value of each of those decisions. Is it more valuable for me to watch this box set? Am I going to add anything to my life? Am I adding anything to my relationships, or my bank balance in my business, or whatever? Or am I making a huge withdrawal by maybe not spending more time on my business today? Or maybe am I making a huge withdrawal in my relationships, where maybe I shouldn't be watching as much TV? Maybe I should be spending more time with my spouse, or my partner, or my kids, or whatever. Or maybe I am making a huge withdrawal from my bank balance, from my health, because this box set is going to take away a couple of hours. Or maybe I would be better off making an investment in my health bank, getting on the treadmill, or going for a walk around the block, or maybe watching some maybe YouTube videos where I can learn maybe how to cook healthier meals, or whatever. And as I said, I would be one of the first person who would point the finger at myself, but I think it's something maybe we all kind of need to think about. A lot of us will probably be looking at January the 1st as probably the first day when we are going to make some change. But maybe you can get a little bit of a head start on yourself and actually pay attention to the decisions you are making right now. If you want to take maybe a notepad with you, and just kind of keep an eye on yourself during the day to day. The decisions you are making, are they positive decisions, or are they negative decisions? Maybe if you find maybe that by the end of the day you have found that, all the decisions you have made have had no value to whatever, part of your life you're trying to improve, maybe it's time to start making better decisions. Or maybe if you do make kind of good decisions, maybe kind of set up maybe some kind of glass jar or something like that, where you add a couple of coins to it every day, or maybe a couple of coloured pebbles or whatever. In that, maybe you can actually see something physical, in front of yourself by the end of the day. Was that day a day kind of filled with good decisions, or do you find yourself maybe looking at that glass jar at the end of the day and maybe it's only got one or two good decisions in it, and there's a kind of a lot of empty space? So maybe that day has been wasted. Maybe you need to kind of pay attention the next day and maybe try and make better decisions. But as I said, a lot of us unfortunately kind of look at the decisions we make as a kind of yes or no thing, and we don't actually give it much value. But if we did kind of put a value on it, and if we did maybe have a look at our health, our relationships, our business, and kind of looked at them as banks, would the decisions we would be making today, would it be adding to our balance? Would we have a better bank balance at the end of the day, or are we withdrawing faster than we can actually put our money into it? So give that some thought today. It is something that as I said, I have been paying attention to this past couple of weeks. I have been a little bit kind of slack and lazy in my decisions, and kind of gone with the easiest thing to do, which is probably usually to sit on the couch and probably watch a box set, or kind of spend more time on social media and take in a lot of negativity. But as I said, as I found, I have paid more paid more attention to the decisions I'm making. I have found that I am making better ones, and I can see it's improving in a lot of areas of my life. And again, if maybe you find that yourself today, maybe have a look at the decisions you are making and maybe add some value amount to it, and just see, are you going in the right direction, or are you kind of withdrawing too much from whatever bank you are withdrawing from. So as always, if you'd like to find out more from Rightcom, or if you'd like to subscribe to this podcast, if you do a search for Rightcom, that's WRITECOME.com, you'll find the content all over the web, in Google, iTunes, or whatever. You'll find the content everywhere. And as always, if you'd like to reach out to me, or if you'd like to pick up the great free report we have at the moment over on the Rightcom site, which is called Words to Wealth, you're very, very welcome to head over there and download it. And as always, if you'd like to reach out to me, or if you'd like to ask me a question at all, don't hesitate to do so. You can send an email to barryjmcdonald@gmail.com. And again, as always, thanks for sharing your time again today. Take care and have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us today. If you'd like more from the Rightcom.com podcast, be sure to subscribe now for more tips, tricks, and ideas you can use to make more money from your words. See you in the next episode.